The Greater Centerville Historians organized in the year 2000. The purpose of the organization is to preserve the history of the Township of Centerville, Cleveland and surrounding area. Gerald O'Neill, Charlie Bauer, Richard Wiegand, and myself, Kathleen Sixel, were the founding members. In 1831, the territory south of Green Bay was sold to the U.S. government by the Native Americans who had title to the land. The consideration was the promise of a reservation in another state. The Township of Centerville was established in 1850. The township had a village called Centerville. The reason for the hamlet's original name of Centerville was, in the days of the Indians, there was a trail along Lake Michigan between Manitowoc and Sheboygan. This heavenly spot was exactly at the halfway mark, so the early white man gave it the name Centerville. In 1849, the village of Centerville was surveyed and laid out in lots and blocks. The village of Centerville was renamed Hika when the Postmaster General informed the village leaders that another Centerville was located in the state. When it became time for Centerville to be renamed, a judge in Manitowoc by the name of Albert Schmidt would take kids hiking. The judge said, "You can't call a town hiking, so why not make it Hika?" Thus, the village of Centerville became Hika. In the early years, Centerville had the vision of becoming a lake port. To encourage ships to dock there, 2 piers were built into Lake Michigan. Many German immigrants arrived by schooners, and the village began to grow. The village had a brick factory, stores, schools, a Lutheran and a Catholic church, mills, saloons, blacksmith shop, and a fire department, and a brewery. When the brewery was built, the settlement began to flourish. But when fire destroyed the brewery, the largest industry, there was no longer a need for the harbor facilities. So ended this chapter of the development of Hika. 2 miles west of Hika, another settlement known as St. Wendel began to grow. It had a Catholic church, a general store with a connected dance hall, and a post office was also located in the complex, a funeral parlor, and at one time a motel. With the clearing of the forest, tilling of the land began. This prompted the exporting of lumber and grains. The farmers of Centerville looked forward to the building of a railway since they had a serious problem transporting their products. In 1873, the Milwaukee, Lakeshore, and Western Railroad was built between the settlements of Hika and St. Wendel and was named Centerville Station. In 1880, Centerville Station was renamed Cleveland after President Grover Cleveland. Cleveland, at that point in time, owes its growth to the fact that the Township of Centerville was a rich farming community, and farmers for miles around would bring products to be shipped by rail or ship. The village of Cleveland had several grocery stores, a furniture store, a funeral parlor, several saloons, Lutheran church, hardware stores, several gas stations, newspaper, photographer studio, several car dealerships, cheese factory, several feed mills, livestock yard, and lumber yards. The biggest business was the Cleveland Co-op, which offered many types of services. With the failing of grain crops, the farmers began dairy farming. With the abundance of milk, another industry began, cheese and butter making. Local cheese factories dotted the countryside. One-room schools were usually built near the cheese factories, so children would have a ride to school when farmers brought their milk. In 1958, Hika, St. Wendel, and Cleveland incorporated into the village of Cleveland. In 1968, the Cleveland Elementary School was built. The Township of Centerville has seen many farming changes, but dairy farming is still the primary vocation. Today, Cleveland is known as the seat of Lakeshore Technical College, which offers an educational alternative to four-year colleges. An ancient proverb states, When an old person dies, a library burns to the ground. These words were the inspiration for organizing the Greater Centerville Historians. We hope to preserve as many memories as possible. We are here with Bob Domaglowski, Jim Kettler, and Charlie Bauer, and we want to know what this project is all about, and Jim will be explaining it this morning. Okay. They are going to be doing something with the dam, and we want to capture it as the progress goes along. Okay, very good. And your residence, where do you live, please?
Newton, Wisconsin.
Okay, and what highway?
County Trunk X on the farm.
Very good, thank you. And the next gentleman here, nice and loud, please.
My name is Bob Domagalski. I live in St. Nazianz, Wisconsin, and I'm here because Jim Kettler invited me to do a bird survey of Centerville Creek, which is the creek behind us.
Okay.
And it's the dam that we're going to be talking about. And I am doing a bird survey for this area. It might go on for years.
Okay, very good. And we have the gentleman that we are looking forward to as far as information. He'll identify himself. Go right ahead, please.
Hi, I'm Jim Kettler. I'm the Executive Director of the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership. We're helping coordinate and facilitate a Friends of Hika Bay group. And part of that work plan is to restore the abandoned mill pond here on Centerville Creek, the mill pond that's behind us.
Okay.
The dam was removed in 1996, but there's 150 years of sediment built up with a lot of nasty invasive species that we're going to hopefully remove, as well as then basically recreate a meandering stream.
Okay.
For Centerville Creek.
Okay.
I live in the town of Centerville, about a mile north of the Lakeshore Technical College on Cedar View Road.
Okay.
My family moved to Cleveland in 1970. We bought a farm on South Cleveland Road, the old Arno Hooten farm.
Okay.
And so I've been a member of Cleveland off and on since 1970.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. And we have another gentleman here. Go right ahead, please.
I'm Charlie Bauer. I'm also with the Greater Centerville Historians, and we came down here this morning to capture the ongoing part of this project here. And I think we're going to turn it back over to Jim here, and he's going to kind of lead us on our way.
Okay, I'm going to introduce myself. Jerry O'Neill, also part of the Greater Centerville Historians, and I am presently the videographer for that group. And they've kindly asked me to be part of the video group here also, and I'm enthused about what we're about to do, and it's good to keep things on record. And I don't know who would like to take over at this point to start things out.
I could start talking again.
Jim, could you identify yourself one more time?
Yep, again, I'm Jim Kettler with the Executive Director of the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership.
Okay.
We're a nonprofit that has a work area extending basically from Manitowoc County, Kewaunee County, Door County, and the eastern portions of Calumet and Brown.
Okay.
We're a watershed-based group that looks at kind of protection and restoration of our waterways. And so the Village of Cleveland had contracted with me a couple of years ago to kind of revisit the feasibility of restoring Centerville Creek. What we have here is just a watershed map that shows the village of Cleveland.
Nice and slow.
Okay. And what we're looking at here is basically this stretch of creek, and we'll take a closer look in a moment or two. But that dam was put up in the 1800s. I think Kathy can give us the exact date.
Okay.
But it was removed in 1996, and it was considered a safety hazard by the DNR.
All right.
And that's why it was removed.
Okay.
The village of Cleveland really didn't have a plan for restoring the creek bed after the dam was removed. They did look into it, but at that time the cost was just too extensive.
Okay.
So they contracted with LNRP in 2009 to revisit the feasibility.
Could you give us what those initials mean, please?
Yep, LNRP is the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership.
Very good.
It's just a lot easier to say as LNRP.
I realize that. Okay.
Anyway, they contracted with us in 2009, and so we put together a citizens advisory committee and came up with a number of designs. We had a collaboration with a UW-Madison landscape architecture class, and they put together literally professional designs that the village now has as kind of a set of really pretty interesting designs.
Okay.
And from that, we kind of took the nuggets and the things that we really wanted to establish, and then worked with a group called Interflu, but that's an environmental consulting firm.
Okay.
They're putting the design together, and we have now reached that point where construction will begin this summer. We had to go through a DNR permitting process. We had to do soil samples. We had to kind of go through the land ownership and delineation of the land boundaries. But all that is now complete, and so we have a construction window of June 15th to August 15th of 2012.
Okay, very good. You mentioned species that were overtaking, and that could be interpreted as animals or plants or something. Could you distinguish something there?
Sure. We're talking about plants and invasive species in terms of plants. We're surrounded by Japanese knotweed.
Okay.
You see these cane kind of looking stems. That's Japanese knotweed. It's a very difficult invasive species to remove. It was brought into this country as an ornamental for landscaping.
Wow.
And we'll take a look inside the mill pond. There's a batch of Phragmites, reed canary grass, and a couple of other pretty nasty critters.
Okay.
Animals, there's certainly been deer in this area for a long time. I don't think we're going to do anything to basically increase the deer population, but certainly we are hoping to reestablish a fish population here by improving the habitat.
Okay. All right. And again, the creek that's flowing slowly behind us, that would have been the outlet to the lake. Is that correct?
That's correct. On this side of the dam, and the dam location, it literally was right there by that ripple. You can get closer and you can actually see some remnants of the dam.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's where that dam was located. And then right after, flowing east, is Lake Michigan.
All right. Trying to get it pinpointed a little bit with the walkway. Can you tie it into me with that?
Right where the water's rippling.
Where it's rippling there.
Yep.
That's part of the basin.
Yeah, the white post, the dam will be right on this side of that white post.
Okay. Okay. Very good. And I'm going to take another shot of that map you got there, Charlie.
Okay.
I appreciate that also. I'm going to close up on it.
And you're also going to have a bird habitat?
We could talk about that. Again, the reason we're doing a bird survey is to really look at the impact restoration will have all over the long term. And so Bob was so kindly offering to do the bird surveys. And so what we'll do is through time, look at what bird species appear in the Centerville Creek area, both before and after the restoration.
Okay.
Certainly we're hoping to kind of recreate a creek that looks like Fisher Creek or Point Creek.
All right.
That has a good, solid natural habitat.
Okay. Bob, as far as your observations roughly right now, the birds that are prominent in this area prior to any work being done, is anything you can give us?
Well, I've only started doing the survey of Centerville Creek in late February. Before this, I've birded here since about 2001, but I never went beyond this boardwalk because I didn't know who owned that property, so I stayed away from it.
Okay.
I now understand it's owned by the village.
All right.
And I can go walking in there.
Okay.
What I'm finding is in this area where they want to get rid of the invasive species, so far there has been no birds whatsoever using it. It's almost like a desert for native species or birds of any sort.
Now, I'm going to ask a question in between. I hate to interrupt you, but the new species of plant life that are going to be here and the present birds, is there a relationship that you're looking for some habitation?
Okay, I'm hoping from the February of this year until June when they start work, I hope to be here once or twice a week doing a survey of the birds here. And they'll give us an idea what's here before. Then I'm going to do the survey for many years in the future.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that once the new vegetation is in here, we can find out how that is being used by the different bird species.
Okay.
As I say, up till this point, the grassy area that they're going to be dredging has had no birds in it at all.
Really?
From my experience with this vegetation in the past, no birds use this habitat at all. It's sort of a desert for anything except these invasive species. Nothing else can grow there, no other plants, or no other animals use it.
Really? Okay. Getting back one more time to this material that's presently here, how does it replicate itself? Through seeds or just roots, like quackgrass type things, or what is it?
The Japanese knotweed literally does go through roots and its rhizomes and spreads that way rather than flowering and fruit and seeds. But every invasive species has its own kind of method of spreading itself, and so it's a species by species kind of issue. We are going to have a group of trainings this summer with Tom Ward, who's the invasive species coordinator for Manitowoc County.
Okay.
And what we're hoping to do is have a training and then have volunteers help remove invasive species, both not only in Hika Park, but in Fisher Creek and Point Creek and Pine Creek and Calvin Creek.
Oh my God, all the way through those areas. It's there.
Friends of Hika Bay literally looks at those 5 watersheds, which basically all flow into Hika Bay.
Okay, very good. Okay, well, thank you very much. Okay, I'm presently videoing the Franklin Street, I believe, comes down from the hill area and enters onto Lakeshore Road, I believe. And this is the area we're presently going to be looking at as far as the information and video-wise some pictures of the old dam location. And of course, this all ends up on Lakeshore Road. But right now, as they mentioned, this particular weed is really taken over here. And that'll be corrected. Okay, I've got some gentlemen that are helping out here a little bit for holding up a map that's been presented, and they'll indicate what we've got there. Go right ahead, please.
Okay. As part of the restoration of Centerville Creek, we're also looking at enhancing Hika Park and actually integrating this restored area as part of Hika Park as a kind of a passive use area of natural habitat. What this schematic does is kind of show Hika Park. This is the public works building, this is the pump station, this is the gazebo and picnic area.
Okay.
There's a very important remnant called a ridge swale ecosystem.
Okay.
One of the few kind of between Sheboygan and Manitowoc of that left. And what we're going to do is basically take some of the excavate from the abandoned mill pond when we restore it, and actually create some topography in this grassy area, and also then plant some native species and recreate a wet meadow.
Okay. I have a question pertaining to the photo itself. Was that a satellite photo of some kind, or a...
Yes, this came off of Google Earth.
Really? Wow. Wow, amazing, isn't it?
It's pretty amazing what you can do,
Okay.
And so we're also then planning on putting a bridge, a little pedestrian bridge, that'll link the north and south parts of the park so people don't have to walk on LS to get to both sides.
Wow.
We're planning on putting some boardwalks in.
Okay.
We'll probably put a kiosk there that'll recognize donors to the project.
Okay. Is that another name for a sign?
Correct.
Okay.
An interpretive sign.
Thank you.
You bet. And some of the local businesses, so that as people come through, they know where to go to eat, where to stay, things like that.
Wonderful.
So it's really a comprehensive approach to expanding Hika Park.
Great job. Okay. Anything else here at this time? Or would you like to move down the pike a little bit?
We can move down the pike.
Very good. Thank you.
I am not you've seen many of the real old photos, only exterior kind of photos. And there wasn't a wheel that you could see as part of that building.
I think Kathy said that it's built in 1865.
That's, you're actually looking at that view right here. That's exactly what you're looking at.
Okay, now what does it say there? We're looking on the north side
You're
of the
looking
dam.
exactly this way.
Yep.
The dam is right there.
I got lots of those.
And we'll be these so and for the show whenever
Okay, we got the group here, and they're on a landing, I believe it's called, of this pathway that's already built here. But there's more information about the original part of it and what it's going to end up to be in the future. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, again, I'm Jim Kettler with the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership.
Thank you.
And we're on a boardwalk that kind of overlooks the basically now removed dam area. The boardwalk was actually dedicated to Francis Buddha, who was very active in the village for a number of years. And so it was built in 1990, and it just extends a little bit around this curve. We plan to rebuild this boardwalk and then have a viewing deck kind of at the end of the, right where the dam used to be located.
Okay, very good. And there's presently some water slowly meandering down behind you, is that correct?
Correct. The creek does have an annual flow, keeps a pretty good flow even in summer.
Okay.
It's pretty slow. But certainly there's typically a flow year-round.
Okay, and I think someone mentioned this is fed by two other creeks that come together in the area?
Correct, the north branch and the south branch of Centerville Creek. And one thing that we haven't talked about yet is that we're doing extensive water quality sampling throughout both the north and south branch.
Okay.
We're expanding our sample sites to 10 different sample sites in 2012. We have 2 interns from UW Manitowoc working on that project.
Wow, great, great. Okay. Let's see. Kathy, I think you have some photos in your folder maybe of something that might work out with this too?
Well, the dam itself, we were just talking about, was really old to power the DR. And look at the dam, and that was caught all the way here.
Okay, we're taking some video of the surrounding buildings from where the dam was. Okay, I'm with Mr. Charlie Bauer. He's accompanied me here at the to Hika, and he's got some information that would pertain to the dam, old dam, I guess.
Yeah.
Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, we're standing exactly where the dam used to be, and when the camera pans around here, the camera will be looking north, and you can see the pile of rocks there, and then the height of the ground.
Okay.
The mill building itself was up that high.
Holy cow, we're
Now,
talking.
you just pan right around,
Yep, gotcha.
all the way around, and you can see the rest of our group here.
Yep.
And then as the camera goes over to the south side, you can see the opposite side again. You can see how high it was. So there was a lot of, the height of the dam was pretty high.
Yeah. Can you give me a footage, a rough one?
Oh God, that's more
From
than
the
20,
bottom to the top?
That's more than 20 feet, I'm guessing.
Rock that were planted in there, if you will.
And you can see that there's concrete still at the bottom. They tried dynamiting that out. There's ledge there, and there's concrete down in here. So
Okay.
this is actually the site of where the dam was.
The base of the dam.
The base of the dam, right.
Okay, very good. Okay, Kathy, why don't you explain a little bit of what you're holding up there?
We're holding up a photo of the dam to show
Nice and
the
long.
height of it and also the length of it.
Okay.
There was a broad walk across it.
Okay.
And as you can see, the gray building in the back is the Hika Bay Tavern, and this is what the Hika Bay Tavern was at that time.
Okay.
And this photo says June 28th, 1942, and that had to be shortly before it washed out.
Okay. Very good. Boy, that was a magnificent looking.
Oh, it is.
Go right ahead, please.
The history of the Hika Dam, the original dam, a wooden structure, was constructed in 1864 by Gottlieb Mill. He and his brother August had a dam and sawmill on the Fisher Creek. This dam washed out in 1864 and the area was abandoned in favor of the Hika area. The Hika Dam remained in place until 1906 when a concrete one was built. A sawmill, lumberyard, and flour and grist mill were built on the north side below the dam using the water power. In 1892, the lumberyard moved to Cleveland because of the railroad being there. The flour and feed mill operated until 1914. The Hika Dam washed out in 1924. After 2 successful money-making picnics, the present dam was dedicated August 9, 1936. In 1942, a heavy rainfall washed away the soil at the ends of the dam. The water on the north side of the dam were so turbulent that the foundations of the mill were undermined. It collapsed and floated into Lake Michigan. The waters backed up from this dam go about a mile to the west and north. There are 2 streams of the Centerville Creek. One runs through the LTC campus.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Now,
We got a gentleman here who has some information in regard to the initial problems that erupted when it was flooded out here. Go right ahead.
Okay, according to Myron Sohn, who has lived in this area all his life, when the dam washed out in 1942, the turbine for the dam was washed down creek into Lake Michigan, and today is out in Lake Michigan somewhere beyond where the creek enters.
Okay, very good. Very good. Now, again, I got a question for Jim here. The surrounding buildings that are located up there, any knowledge about those at this point in time that you could tell us?
One building, and Kathy has a picture of it, is literally straight ahead of us.
Okay.
That's the Hika Bay Tavern.
Okay.
And supposedly that's the longest continually licensed tavern in Wisconsin.
Okay.
It was literally part of the trail from Green Bay to Milwaukee.
Really? Okay. Okay. So people were able to stay there and have a meal and a gusto?
Yes, it did have overnight accommodations as well.
Okay. Any other buildings in back here that you can recognize or tell us about?
No, I think most of the other ones are fairly, probably new homes.
Okay.
Or newer homes.
Okay. And as far as I asked Mr. Bauer this, but maybe you have an estimate or measurement to work with, the distance from the bottom of the base of the dam to the ridges that we see, what do we look at for feet?
Certainly, if we look and if you pan over this way,
Yeah.
you'll see on top of the rocks, literally some remnant mortar work. The dam went about that high, and so
Okay.
it was about a, what would you say, is 30 to 40 foot dam.
Okay. All the way across here then?
All the way across. Yep.
Holy cow. Okay. And as far as any knowledge of the tail race opening, is there anything on that? What side of the dam it was?
Well, the tail race had to be on the north side to come out because
That's
the
where the
water
water
was
went.
built up 30 feet and the mill's
Oh.
had up there, so when the water went through the mill, it just returned right back to the creek here.
Okay.
It didn't have to go downstream to catch up with the creek.
Okay, so it was
Right.
immediate. It was
That's where
immediate.
the turbine was set, yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, any other thoughts anybody has?
We got a picture here, Jerry.
Okay, just one moment.
we got a-
Okay, we got a young lady here and she'd like to identify herself and she's got a picture she'd like to show off a little bit. Go right ahead.
I'm Kathy Sixel, and I wanted to show the dam before it collapsed.
Okay.
And there was a walkway across. Okay, and here's another picture of the dam. And behind it you can see St. George Church. Oh, here.
Okay.
That is
Hold
St.
it steady, hold it steady. Thank you.
And
Okay.
this is the dam as it after it collapsed.
Oh, after it.
Oh, not the dam, the
The
mill.
This is the mill here. You
This
can
is
see
the
how
mill.
the wall, the building
Oh,
just kind of caved
I
away here.
see.
The mill
Okay.
pond.
That's the mill pond.
Yeah.
And the dam is down. I see the
Right
mill
in front.
back in the background there. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Okay.
And
Mill
back,
pond.
back here.
Okay, we're looking at a view here that's taken many years ago, perhaps. Go right ahead, please.
This is the Coiny Mill. This is the bell of the Badger Fire Department, and again the walkway. And Ken Brookson told me he can remember when this collapsed that the chickens floating down. They had chickens at this mill, and they floated down the creek into Lake Michigan,
Oh, my
and they were
goodness.
running all over. And I think that, Bob, you had some information regarding the equipment of the mill when it collapsed.
Well, that was the turbine that I mentioned
That you mentioned before,
that
okay.
floated out into Lake Michigan.
Okay, was there any other debris that was kind of highlighted as far as what went out there too? That anybody
I
mentioned?
really don't know that. I'm sure a lot of stuff went out onto the lake.
Yeah, okay.
But if the turbine went way out there, I'm sure a lot of other stuff
I'm sure
that
it did.
isn't quite so heavy went out there also.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, this is the outlet, if you will, of the stream going out of the village of Hika to Lake Michigan. We're just taking a shot of that heading to the east. Okay, got a gentleman here, and we're still down on the boardwalk, if you will, and he'll describe a few things that are presently growing here. Go right ahead.
You bet. Again, I'm Jim Kettler with the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership. What we're looking at here is literally where the water would have been, and I ice skated here as a kid.
Oh, really? Great.
But what you're looking at is literally a lot of reed canary grass, which
Okay.
is an invasive species. It gets very dense,
Okay.
but you'll see a little bit further, that's probably about a 6 to 8 foot in sized stream bank.
Yeah.
Further in, we've got 8 to 10 foot walls that are just cut like that.
Wow.
And so all of that's going to get restored into a normal functioning
Okay.
stream channel.
Will there be any kind of rock or anything to prevent erosion just because
Correct.
it happens?
What they'll do is they do a bunch of bioremediation where they actually have biodegradable mats that hold the vegetation in place.
Oh.
They also put in submerged logs that actually hold and stabilize, especially with the meanders.
Yeah.
Because they will create a meandering stream
Okay.
that will be in basically enhanced fish habitat.
Okay. Okay.
If we go a little bit further, the next film clip, I'll show you Phragmites, which is, again, a very bad invasive species that's
Really?
really becoming quite problematic for the
Wow.
northeast part of the state.
And you're presently saying this is canary grass?
This is reed canary grass, and when we move forward, I'll show you where that Phragmites is.
Now, to my understanding, if they have roads being built or anything like that and ditches that they provide, canary grass at one time, I believe, was a plant they planted.
That's correct. It was actually introduced as a plant that stabilized kind of banks on
Yes.
construction sites because it does grow so dense and
Yeah.
so thick.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it takes over
Oh.
and basically goes where it's not supposed to go and then displaces native species.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you. Good. Okay, as Jim indicated, that there's plenty of grass and canary grass that he mentioned that are invasive, but I was just asking you about the mechanical part of it, is the scooping of the remnants of this bed, what it would all take. Go right ahead.
You bet. It'll take big equipment. They're going to have a big backhoe and a big cat, and what they do is basically divert the water around where they'll actually be doing the reconstruction,
Oh.
and do that in a stepwise sequence so that
Really?
they don't have the water flowing through the area that they're digging.
Sure,
So
sure.
they just create this series of stepwise diversions,
Okay.
and then get pretty big equipment in here with dump trucks,
Okay.
and taking that excavate out.
Wow. That's
And
a...
so on this side
Yes.
is where we'll actually have access for those dump trucks.
Okay. So they'll build a pathway down. There's some high ground right where they're standing
There
right
is a
now.
path already.
Okay.
And we can move over in that direction.
Okay, very good. Now the people that are doing this, while they're trying to do good, now they have to prevent any erosion at this time too, with the fresh conditions that are going to be coming about because of digging out things.
Correct. And so again, they'll do a lot of bioremediation that'll stabilize those stream banks.
Okay.
You should note that every time we have a rain event,
Yeah.
we get a lot of sediment loads into the stream.
Okay.
Because these inside banks, anytime there's water rushing against them, it's just carrying sediment
Everything
into Lake
is
Michigan.
eroding away. Right?
And so one of the objectives and one of the real benefits will be the minimization of erosion coming out of the stream channel once it's restored.
Okay. All right. Very good. Is there anything downstream or upstream, I guess is a better term, that is there to prevent all that from gathering down here?
There's very nice functioning stream channels that we're basically looking to replicate
Okay.
right beyond the mill pond. We have a couple of forested nice meanders where Centerville Creek basically splits between the north and
Okay.
south branch.
All right.
And so we've got very good habitat basically upstream from this mill pond area.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you very much, sir. Okay, as we're walking on this higher ground, Bob is indicating there might be a remnants of something here. Go right ahead.
Okay, right behind here where this
Nice and loud,
is
Bob.
fallen over, under there is the remnants of the dam, the actual dam is
Okay.
right under there.
All right.
There's a lot of stone that might show.
Okay.
And the Coiney Mill was on the north side of the dam, and I think in the ground here you can see a foundation of a building, and this might be the foundation of the Coiney Mill, right? Coiney Mill, right here.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we're looking at an older picture, and this gentleman will indicate what we're looking at. Go right ahead, please.
Again, I'm Jim Kettler with the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership. We've got a couple of historical photos. The first one is an ice skater taken in 1938
Okay.
that should be basically looking about this way across the
Okay.
the old dam.
Yeah.
And back in the 70s, I used to ice skate here too every once in a while.
Wow, great.
The second image
Yes.
is basically kind of looking at where we're standing. We would have been on top of the mill pond, and then if you can pan that way, you're
Okay.
basically looking towards Hika Bay Tavern,
Okay.
up and above over the mill pond area.
I'll come back.
But we would be on top of the mill at this point,
Okay.
being quite high up.
Yes. Okay, I'll come back to you with that picture one more time. And I'll take a steady shot of it for just a moment to get a dwell on it.
Excuse me, I'm Kathy Sixel, but this
Yes.
would have been the brewery.
Okay, thank
And
you.
this would have been St. George Church.
Okay. Okay, and there's the mill pond in the foreground.
Correct.
All right. And could you point out the tavern that we know as Hika Bay Tavern?
This building right here.
Okay, that ties it pretty well together there. And again, this would have been taken from the mill, is that correct? That was here, the building?
My guess is that we would be standing on top of the mill, looking
Okay.
down onto the mill pond.
So we got the directions correct here as far as where we're looking. By the way, could you tell me what direction we are looking at?
We would be headed basically southwest.
Okay,
And then the final photo
okay.
is literally looking
Ah,
towards the lakefront.
okay.
And what you're seeing here is the mill, and the dam would have been on this side of the mill.
Okay,
The old Rutherford Hotel, and then of course Lake Michigan in the background.
would that be Stratman's or Rutherford's?
It had been Strotman's and then it turned into Rutherford's.
Oh, okay, okay, I didn't realize. Okay, very good.
From where we're standing, you're looking
Yeah.
directly east,
Correct.
and Lake Michigan would be beyond
We're
us.
just looking as if we were there right now.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Well, good job there. Thank you.
Okay, Jim, I wanted to...
Okay, we got a young lady here. She'll identify herself and indicate what we're looking at.
We had this photo before, and the caption states it was December 1938, and it was Glenn Whitty and his father Clarence Whitty.
Okay.
And they have a question mark, firehouse in the background. They were wondering if that was the firehouse.
Okay, very good. I'll take a photo. Hold it.
Because it is true. I mean, it is a desert here. You know?
Okay, we're observing the present situation. This is 2012, March 19th, and it will be changing dramatically later on this year in the summer when they dig all this out of here and to relocate the stream, I believe, and also the grasses that are presently choking off everything. And this is what they want to work with.
Well, that was just redone when they redid the street. Yeah, but I mean, the DNR allows this kind of...
We're looking again to the east at this point in time. We'll end up here on the walkway. Okay, we're looking at some of the weeds, I believe you would call it, that are overtaking the area, but this gentleman will indicate what's going to be happening.
Again, Jim Kettler with the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership. We're just taking a look over my shoulder at a patch of Phragmites, which basically got established just a couple of years ago. But Phragmites is a very aggressive invasive species. If you drive over the big bridge in Green Bay and look over the bay, that entire area is Phragmites. The DNR is literally spending hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to eradicate it. And once it gets established, it's quite difficult to get rid of. And so the restoration, though, will remove that entire area and that entire patch. We also wanted to just talk about funding for the project. It's come from donations. The National Fish and Wildlife Foundation gave us a grant of about $150,000. Cleveland State Bank donated another $10,000 to the project. And we've had a number of other smaller donations and private memberships to Friends of Hika Bay. We do have an annual fundraiser in the town of Centerville, an annual barn dance that does provide funding for our indirect support and organizational support.
Where is that held, by the way, if I may interrupt?
The barn dance is at the Saxon Homestead with the Klesick family. And this year it'll be on September 22nd. We're actually adding a historical element called the Chautauqua, which used to be a traveling tent that allowed rural people to have entertainment, cultural exchange, and education. And we're bringing in Will Allen from Growing Power to talk about sustainable food systems. So we're going to do the conversation under the tent from 3 to 5, and then a barn dance from 5 to 10.
Very good. Well, you've got a lot of knowledge in your head up there. I gotta say, you do a good job. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Okay, I got two gentlemen here, and they'll identify themselves, but we'll start with this gentleman here in regard to the animal life, I'll use that term, and the area. And I myself have not seen anything, but he says he's picked up a few things. Go right ahead.
Okay, Bob Domagolsky, St. Nazians, and I'm the guy who's doing a bird survey for this creek where they're going to be dredging.
Yes.
Jerry is saying that he can hear birds, and he's wondering what they are. And they're rather common spring birds that'll probably be nesting here. One of the birds that's singing in the background, not at this exact moment, but has been, is a song sparrow. I've counted about 8 song sparrows here this morning when I did my survey. Another bird that's going to be nesting in here and is making noises most of the time is a red-winged blackbird, which just called. And grackles are in here. In the trees, especially in the cedar trees that are growing on the edges here, there are black-capped chickadees, white-breasted nuthatches, downy woodpeckers, red-bellied woodpeckers. As I mentioned before, in this grassy area that you had just filmed, with all these exotic plants, nothing lives in there. These birds are living in different parts of this valley, not related to the grasslands here, because it's basically a desert for any other form of life besides those weeds. I had wood ducks here this morning. They flew out of the woods over here. They're probably nesting in a hollow in one of these trees here and using this area as a nesting area. But again, the survey has just started. I'm thinking when spring comes here, we're so close to Lake Michigan, just like Fisher Creek, this will be a great place for migrating warblers and passerines to spend a day or so to store up on nutrients for food and then move on north for their nesting territory.
Okay, very good. Now, there's a gentleman that's, you were talking about a concern for the birds while the excavation takes place, but I think this gentleman said there's going to be some corrective measures for that. Go right ahead.
Correct. Jim Kettler from the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership. Again, over my shoulder, we're looking at some kind of woody habitat that we're hoping to retain and then continue to actually plant trees to recreate a wet cedar swamp. That's the kind of community type that would be typical around here. Okay. So we're looking to planting good-sized cedar trees, maple trees, basswood, to recreate a very healthy habitat that can, in fact, bring back some of the native bird species.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, see the brush along the banks here. Is that going to be disturbed or taken out of there at all?
It all depends on how high on the bank it will be. We're going to be building basically benches with that floodplain benches, and then planting trees on those benches. So we don't want to remove the heavier woody plants that are here, the trees, but kind of enhance and complement those trees with further planting.
Very good. Thank you very much. Good job, gentlemen.
It's a flat surface all the way
as the water receded.
Okay, Kathy Sixel has brought an old photo, and maybe she can kind of read the caption underneath a little bit.
The Kathy Sixel, the caption reads, "Wildlife and boating on Centerville Lake, back of dam." So we would be looking to the west. And this is what the mill pond, it was called the mill pond also, and this is what the pond would have looked like.
Oh, okay. And we are looking west as we speak here.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
And this is what they're trying to recap or recapture.
Yeah.
Yes. And I also want to identify some buildings in the background.
Sure, go right ahead. That would be good. I didn't get anything from anybody on that.
I can just see it.
Okay, do you know that one at all?
That I don't know, but I have to start with the tavern.
Nice and low.
Okay, Kathy Sixel, and the gray building you see and the shed is the Hika Tavern, and that was the Hugo Shuri Tavern at one time.
Okay.
Across the street is the little, it's like a stucco or a brick that those kind of blocks were manufactured in Hika at one time, and that was the mill print shop.
Oh, okay. That was the name of the persons, right?
The mill family had it, and they ran a print shop out of there.
Okay.
And next to it is the Dossler garage, and that you started with a blacksmith shop.
Oh, okay, okay.
And as we go down, the brick building, that was the Rudy Mill Tavern. And there was a part on there that was the dance hall, and there was a bowling alley, and behind it is the Mill Rock Garden.
Okay.
And the little gray house, and there's a little blue on it.
Yes.
The first house, it was the mill house also. The same people who owned the print shop.
Okay.
And the Anderson family owns it today yet.
Okay.
And the little rust-colored building, the first house here, that was where Wally Crest was born, but I don't have any land records or I don't know anything more about the place.
Okay, very good. And this mill, we had this lady in our midst for many years as far as our history group. And could you tell what her name was?
Yes, Dorothy Anderson was connected with the Historical Society, the Greater Centerville Historians. She was a founding member like I was, and that was in the 80s.
Okay.
Today she is in a nursing home at Manitowoc.
Oh, okay.
And her sister, Marion Kellner, lived in the print shop.
Oh, really? Okay.
And she just passed this past year.
Really? Oh, my goodness.
Or past year, within the last 2 years or so.
And the print shop, was it a newspaper or posters?
More posters, and I have some of the stuff they printed at home. Just a minute, Jerry.
Sure, I'll cut.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still with Kathy Sixel, and she's got some artifact here, I believe, and she'll tell us about it. Go right ahead.
When the dam washed out, they raised money by having different events. This was a gents dance ticket, and it was for 40 cents only.
Okay.
And it was a picnic and a dance, and it was at Stratman's Winter Garden in Centerville.
Okay, all right. And that was to raise some money for a replacement of the dam?
Of
or
the
just a-
dam, and that would have been one of the first times because in 1935 this is already,
Okay.
and then it washed out again in 1942.
Okay.
And it even they must have given dower prizes because it says to a free chance. Oh, a free chance on radio in addition to admission to hall afternoon and evening.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Kathy. Good history there. Thank
Good.
you.
All right.
Okay, this is a view of the mill dam and the brewery in the back. Is that correct?
No, this is St. George Church
St. George Church there. Okay.
in the background.
All right.
And I think this was the Badger Fire Department.
That was the fire department.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we're looking at a picture of long ago with the dam in place, I believe, and this gentleman is sort of verifying what we're seeing. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, I think we just wanted to verify the direction and view that we're taking. This building right here certainly appears to be the same building there when you look at the roof line and
Okay.
the window placements.
All right.
And so this photo was taken in 1936.
Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you, Jim. Good.
And you can't start until June because of the DNR says fish spawning?
It's more about the getting the bids together
Oh, that's what it
and
is.
having just the right timing.
Okay, now we're looking at the
Yeah.
northwest corner here,
This will be a good one for sure.
where the rivers come from. And of course, down in the bottom area here, we have the mill, would have been the mill pond.
Where the two streams come together, the north and the south fork. So we'll be restoring all the way up to basically here. Correct.
Did you get that map out of Manitowoc County, that one map, please? That
No,
We
this
got a nice
one,
map here to show.
Good.
you.
Yeah.
Good, we'll take a look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
actually, why don't we go on?
Okay, and with the gentlemen that are involved in this picture a little bit, and he'll describe the locations of various streets and so forth that would be necessary to orientate ourselves. Go right ahead.
Again, Jim Kettler with the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership. What we're showing here is just an overview of the project area.
Okay.
Here was the original dam, and that's where we were on the boardwalk.
Keep your
Right
finger there
now,
for a minute if you could.
Right there.
Thank you.
We're standing literally right here,
All right.
looking this way.
Okay.
And so you can see that mill pond area, and this is where the North Fork
Yep.
and the South Fork come together.
Okay.
We'll restore all the way up to these 2 points. So this entire area will get a restoration and a
Okay.
stream that's going to get rechanneled.
And you're going to take this dirt here and use some of it, but you're going to haul it to over here someplace?
Correct. This is Hika Park, and so as I mentioned earlier, we're really taking a comprehensive view of expanding Hika Park to include this restored natural area.
Okay.
This is just a grassy field right now, so we're going to take some of this excavate
Yep.
and literally create some topography and restore a wet meadow there,
Oh.
which would then be integrated into this little community type.
Sure.
This is that ridge swale ecosystem.
Okay.
And so here's Franklin Street again.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's right behind us. We're
Yep.
standing right here overlooking the mill pond.
Okay.
This is a nice map.
That's a beautiful map, boy. That is well done. Now, was that an aerial photo from a plane, perhaps?
That's correct.
Okay.
But these images you can find on the internet very easily.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And do you have to go to a certain .com type thing, or what? I'm sorry.
Typically, if you would just Google the site, you'll find all sorts of maps of different areas. But
Oh.
if you can use Google Earth, the imagery there is really getting
Google Earth.
Google Earth,
Okay.
and you can really get some great images with
Wow.
great resolution.
Thank you for that information there. Well, and again, this photo was taken how long ago? Just so
This
we have
one's probably somewhere around 2002 is my
okay.
guess.
All right. Okay.
2002.
And
I
again,
don't have the actual date on it though.
and you indicated there is funding to take care of this whole matter.
Correct. Again, we got over $150,000 raised just for the reconstruction project, the entire project, we've raised close to $300,000.
Wow, very good. Well, that'll help a ton, I'll tell you. And it'll improve the whole thing, I'm sure.
Certainly the habitat for
Yes.
both fish, birds,
Right.
and native species
Correct.
will be very much enhanced.
Good. Thank you again.
Okay.
Okay.
Carl and Liz Klessing are part of the steering committee. Do you want it back?
That's mine. Okay, we're just talking about the silt and everything that came through here, and as far as the richness of the soils, and according to Jim, it's got some potential.
Sure, because certainly most of this is from the farmlands
Yeah.
upstream.
Yeah.
And so I'm very close friends with the Klessing family, and I offered to give them back some of their soil.
Very good. And any other comments, Bob? You have anything pertaining
No,
to
nothing
this
I can think of
project
right
that you're happy with it? I know that as far as increasing the bird.
I'm very pleased with restoring this area. It'll bring fish back to the stream. It'll help the birds. The native vegetation right now, what we have here is a desert, an environmental desert of just weeds that nothing else can grow.
Nothing
here
else will
except
grow.
those plants.
Wow. Oh, very good. Hey, Kathy, any thoughts that you have as far as
No thoughts.
no thoughts on? Okay. You know, and she's a woman. There's never a stopping a woman from speaking. Thank you. Okay, we're now leaving the area where the mill pond was and where the weeds have now grown. We're heading over to the actual Hika Park near the lake area. And we're going down Franklin Street, I believe, at this point, that they've constructed a nice street here to get to the Lakeshore Road area. And it's a beautiful day. It's in spring. Again, it's March 19th, 2012. And we've been fortunate with the weather in this territory all year long. And it's been warmer by a record-breaking conditions here, so we're happy. But again, we're heading over to the actual park to get some information what will happen with the park when this is being done here. Okay, everybody's getting into their vehicles because we're going to be... Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Okay, this is the bridge that is the Lakeshore Road Bridge, and looking back, Lakeshore Drive, I guess, is a better term. And we're looking back a little bit on Franklin Drive. The building, that brick building on the corner, do you happen to know what the past history of it at all?
I do not know.
Okay.
Kathy would be a better person
Okay, very good.
on that. So
Now this bridge, was this done lately, or has this been here a long time and just the railings look rather new?
the railings just got done this past year.
Okay,
Yes, they redid the railings, but the
Okay.
bridge itself has been there.
okay.
Again, I do not have dates.
Okay.
But certainly it's been there quite some time.
Just a quick question in regard to the drainage thing toward the lake. Does anything from the septic system ever drain into this area?
This, in fact, is the pump house where the entire village comes.
Okay.
So then that is pumped up to the water treatment plant.
Oh,
So
really?
This is the lowest area.
Yes.
This is where the gravity feed brings literally all the wastewater.
Oh,
And then
okay.
it's pumped. So this building will always have to remain because it's the pump station for
Sure,
the village.
sure.
But then pumps the wastewater up to the water treatment plant.
Okay, and the water treatment plant is how far away, roughly?
Oh, it's less than a mile
Okay.
north on LS.
All right. And it's all underground, I presume?
Sure. It's all
Okay.
piped underground. Yep.
Very good. So this is the direction going north?
Correct.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, we're still in the Hika Bay area and we're at the shoreline of Lake Michigan. And this gentleman that's with us today, Jim, he's doing a wonderful job, and he indicates as soon as I get back to him, he'll continue with what he likes to talk about. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, Jim Kettler with the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership. I'm just standing in front of a sign that recognizes the purchase of this ridge swale ecosystem that I talked about earlier.
Okay.
The village purchased this with some donations from the West Foundation, with some state stewardship money,
Okay.
and some other private donations
Okay.
in 2005.
Okay, I'm going to stop for a minute. And those donations, like you said, from the West Foundation, where are these people located in relation to Hika?
Okay. The West Foundation is a foundation out of Manitowoc.
Okay.
Certainly the Stewardship Fund is a state fund that purchases rare habitats and important habitats for wildlife and
Okay.
recreation. And I think they also got some money, yes, from the Cleveland State Bank, donated
Okay.
some money.
Yes.
And then Wisconsin Coastal Management.
Okay.
We're working with Wisconsin Coastal Management on the enhancements of Hika Park, and in a moment we'll talk about those as we go over to another area of the park.
Okay. I got just a quick question that's been haunting me for a little while. As far as ownership of part of Lake Michigan, how far does the boundary go out from the shoreline?
It varies a little bit, but the statewide regulation is the high water mark. And so where you see basically the debris going up onto the beach is basically public property, and private property goes to the high water mark. Now the village then owns literally all of this lakefront,
Okay.
and it goes, so this is about a 4-acre piece.
Okay.
And so all of this then will be part of the park, but a passive use in terms of people just enjoying the beachfront.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, okay, again, today's date is March 19th, 2012, and we're located in the Hika Bay area. I guess Hika or Hika Bay, one of the two is the right way, but this gentleman will give us identification and indicate maybe the building that's in the background.
Sure. The barn in the background is the property of John Kirsch. He's actually a member of the LNRP board.
Okay.
And we're going to actually have our invasive species workshop there on April 30th. Tom Ward will give us a training on garlic mustard, honeysuckle, and buckthorn. And so if we then pan over this way, those piles of brush
Yes.
is all the remains of the honeysuckle and buckthorn that we've removed from this little community.
Really?
And the fire department will burn those brush piles sometime this spring once they dry out.
Sure.
But basically we've got about 80% of this area done in terms of removing the honeysuckle and buckthorn.
Okay. The acreage that we're looking at and dimensions, have you got something there?
I don't have exact dimensions, but this whole purchase was about just under 5 acres.
Okay. Okay.
And so then this grassy area that you're looking at is where we'll recreate some topography with the excavate from the mill pond area.
Okay.
And do native plantings. The horticulture program at Lakeshore Technical College is assisting us. They had 3 groups, I should say, put together plans for this wet meadow ecosystem.
Okay.
With native vegetation. They were even able to present at the statewide wetlands conference.
Okay.
On those plans. And so once we get the dirt in here, excavate a little bit,
Yep.
we'll begin basically planting native vegetation.
Okay. And will this be like a picnic area? Is that what they're thinking or not?
We're going to keep the picnic area in the active use part of the park on the south end,
Okay.
partly because we want to minimize the maintenance costs for the village.
Okay.
And if we had picnic area in here, you'd have to have a garbage can, you'd have to have a road, you'd have to have a number of things
Yep.
that would really kind of add to the cost of maintaining the property.
And again, the donation was this land donated or was there money available?
This was purchased with donations from the West Foundation, from Cleveland State Bank, from a donation from the Stewardship Fund,
Okay.
state funds,
Very
and
good.
Wisconsin Coastal Management.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Okay, got two people here who have different information and they'd like to combine it for a good information. Thank you. Keep on going, please.
My name is Kathy Sixel, and the house you see in the background years ago was owned by a dentist, and his name was Dr. Bremer, and I used to go to him.
Okay.
And they restored the inside, and it was beautiful.
Okay.
You will see, you can see there's a little smokehouse, and that if you go to the north,
Yeah.
that was a little house they restored, the smokehouse, for their daughter. It was a real cute little bedroom.
Oh, like a playhouse?
No,
This is
for
an actual working bedroom.
working
Really?
bedroom. When she came home, she would stay there.
Really?
I've heard that story too. And now it's
Yeah.
owned by John Kirsch
Yeah.
and his wife Adele, and they own the barn and the house and the
Okay.
property.
Okay.
And as I mentioned earlier, John is a member of our board.
Okay, very good.
And
Yes, go right ahead.
Kathy Sixel,
Yeah.
and in spring they have all wild phlox.
Mhm.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
What
They're
was the name of the...
phlox?
Phlox?
A flower.
Really?
The
Yeah,
whole
like
thing,
a ground flower. Mm-hmm.
and
Really?
it is all pink.
Yep.
All
The
pink.
whole.
Wow.
They've done a
that's-
lot of landscaping. Yep.
Yeah,
What
it's
time of
beautiful.
year does that take place here?
Usually in spring. And
Yeah, earlier spring.
Spring,
So
yeah.
Okay.
probably in
We'll
May.
be-
May,
Be looking
June,
for that.
something like that. Yeah.
Now, if my recall is correct, he had on display in the yard as a conversation piece a dentist chair.
Right.
At one
that-
time he did, yes.
And that was for Dr. Bremer. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
who had it
All
first.
right. Okay, well, very good information. Thank you so much. According to information from Kathy Sixel, that this little building in the back was constructed for the daughter of the dentist here, for her to use when she was returning back to her home here. So they made up that little building for her alone. Okay, we're going on North Avenue to an area to be used as a reference as to how the new excavating will look like. Okay, got a gentleman here we've been working with all morning here on the March 19th, 2012, and he's got more information to provide as to what the outcome will be in the future for the area right at the Hika area. Go right ahead, please.
Again, Jim Kettler from the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership. What we're looking at is literally what we're trying to aspire to.
Okay.
This is basically a creek just off of North Avenue in Cleveland. This is the north branch of Centerville Creek.
Okay.
The north branch flows through LTC and then up into the ag lands, literally on the Klesick family farm, and then starting where the Cleveland Fish and Game location
Okay.
is. Those are the two sources of the north branch.
Okay.
And so it doesn't go very far west of I-43, and you'll get to the headwaters of Centerville Creek.
Okay.
But again, this is kind of what we're aspiring to, a nice
Wow.
wooded area,
Nice.
good habitat, good for birds, good for fish. That's what we're hoping to recreate on the abandoned mill pond.
Okay, well, that looks like a good objective here. Thank you very much.
So this is the way the mill pond is, what you want the
We
mill
want
pond to
to-
look at it, like that.
This is a perfect example of a meander.
Okay.
That's what we're going to try to recreate. Yep.
Oh, great.
And that's the word they use,
A
meander.
meander.
Okay. And this is through natural erosion, if you will, or
Sure. I
control?
mean, through time, obviously, any rain event with spring thaw, you're going to get a high water and you'll get some erosion. But what we're trying to recreate
Okay.
is this kind of meander
Yes.
throughout. Now, what we'll do is literally put logs and other woody debris, going to bury it into the stream banks to stabilize those stream banks.
Okay.
They'll use a bioremediation method that literally creates a biodegradable kind of mat on the stream banks,
Okay.
and that'll last for 2 to 3 years and then eventually decompose. But by that time, the natural vegetation will be in place to hold those stream banks.
Okay. I know it was brought up, if you wish to talk about that, like trails and things like that. That is not part of what this is all about.
What the DNR gave us a permit for doesn't include trails, but certainly trails are part of the 20-year comprehensive plan that the village put together.
Okay.
They would like to literally connect all of their parks, Veterans Park, Dairyland, and Hika Park.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, this looks very pleasing and kind of tranquil, really.
Very peaceful.
And the water's clear. And this wooded area, acreage-wise, belongs to who here?
I'm pretty sure, I don't know that exactly, but I think it belongs to the farm up here.
Okay. Okay, Jim has a little bit of information about the people who will be doing the actual excavation, and apparently they're, what do you call it, masters at it. Go right ahead, please.
They're not actually going to do the excavation. That'll be a contracted company, but they're the masters of putting together basically plans when a dam is removed to restore various areas. They did the project in Plymouth that they restored that stream when they removed the dam, and also have done projects throughout the U.S. on restoring streams and rivers.
Wow, great. And if they are needed, they can do dynamiting and everything to get things out of the way somewhat?
Again, I do not expect to see any of that here.
Okay.
The excavating company, whichever one wins the bid,
Yep.
will determine what's needed.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, with a group of people here who are very conscientious about the future and in nature also, and I'll start over here with this gentleman who's into an activity he likes very much, and he'll tell us a little bit about it. Go right ahead, please.
Hello, I'm Bob Domagolski from St. Nazianz, and I'm involved with the Centerville Creek project here, basically to monitor the birds as they change over the next decade or so.
Okay, very good, thank you. And we have a lady here, she'd like to talk.
I'm Kathy Sixel, and I'm with the Greater Centerville Historians, and I think this is a wonderful project that they are doing to restore our land as well as the woodlands, the birds, the animals. It's great.
Very good. And we have a gentleman here also. Go right ahead, please.
I'm Jim Kettler, the Executive Director of the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership, and we help form Friends of Hika Bay. And so we've got a 5 to 10 year work plan to both protect and restore the watersheds flowing into Hika Bay.
Very good, thank you. And we got a gentleman here also. Go right ahead, please.
I'm Charlie Bauer with the Greater Centerville Historians, and today is the first day of our ongoing project here of watching how they're going to take the old mill pond and change the whole layout of the pond there, how the creek just going to make it meander on through there, and I think it's a great thing that they're going to do.
Okay, and I myself, Jerry O'Neill, also part of the Greater Centerville Historians as videographer, and I'm glad that these folks have decided to get together and talk about it and get it on video so we can have a follow-up to what the final outcome will be. Thank you very much, everybody.
Jerry, one more thing.
Sure. Go right ahead.
I'm Kathy Sixel, and the temperature is in the 60s today.
Mid-March.
Mid-March.
Right, let's get that down.
Winter is ended, right?
The only reason why some of us are wearing jackets is because you're near Lake Michigan, and the cold air off the lake is blowing inland towards the warmth of the inland area.
Right.
Yeah, the lake effect.
Yep.
Well, thank you folks again for taking the time, and it was wonderful that you contacted us. We'd like to be part of it all the way through. Thank you.